This is the best new update of the Selections offline game with a great graphic and variety of gameplay. I'm sure many of the players still looking for the offline game, and our team try to give the answer and make a new offline game become once on this video. Remember to like this video to reach 200 likes. Please enjoy the video of Top 10 Best New Offline Games High Graphic for Android and iOS New Update. Vehicle Master. Vehicle Master Vice City. Surely this game got an inspiration by GTA games like for mobile, but as a mobile game, it has a best graphic offline game with an open world based game concept. But actually, I feel like the city needs more NPC, so we can make a chaos then. This is a serious update if the developer want to create a perfect games, because I see a huge potential from the gameplay, graphic and how smooth the combat fighting is. If you notice, it has attention to details that show on when we hit our car while driving. Then the car's glasses will be cracked and our car will become smoking. Don't let your car explode then. This game has a mission-based game where we should follow the pathfinding to reach the point. We can use so many kinds of free weapons like wooden stick, guns or bare hands. Most of the mission is we should escort the NPC or beat the gangster around the city. This game is only has 120 MB, but the graphics are surely the best offline RPG open world games for mobile. Actually, we can do so many things freely when this game comes into the sandbox gameplay category. Vehicle Master Vice City is the best new offline game Android that everyone should play now. Ugr Gazi 3. Ugr Gazi 3. I'm really happy to see an offline game that has such a great graphic just like this game. It has a beautiful visual. With a far view distance, we can clearly see the whole panorama. It's pretty insane for a game that only has less than 1 GB in size. Please note, the game is able to play offline, but you need a short connections, only when entering the stages. Then feel free to play this game without internet. The gameplay is really good, especially the developer give a hint to the player through the radar of the map and see the hint of the mission. It has so many varieties of the missions, but the main one is killing the army of the enemy's troops. Use the sword to slash while riding the horse as possible, or lock the target with your arrow from a distance. Most of the combat that we have will get some help from our army, but the number is a little, so we have to clear the entire enemy by our weapon. This game has a Turkish base on the NPC's name, ornament and the main storyline. Ugr Gazi 3 is the best new game offline high graphic for Android and iOS. Prison Fighter. Prison Fighter RPG Fighting. This is a new offline game with a very small size. It's just less than 100 MB in total. You will get a great graphic of fighting game that allows the player to play in arcade mode. But I think the game's level difficulty is way too difficult. Even on the first match, it's really hard to beat the opponent. The damage seems unbalanced, which this game should be played by a master on a fighting games genre. So as a newbie, I will not ask you to try it, but through this video, I would like you to know how the gameplay looks. The gameplay is really good, even the control is amazing. We can block the attack and also dodge will automatically be determined by the heroes itself. The combat mechanism seems pretty simple. There is no skill selections. We only can do 2 different actions of punch and kick. Before the battle starts, make sure you do some exercise to improve the hero's strength of power, dodge and critical. Hopefully in the future, the developer will update the game's level difficulty to make it fair and balanced for a newbie player. The best new game offline high graphic small size for mobile. Fury. Fury. This game is the next sequel of Cat Killer. No wonder the game's gameplay is absolutely similar, but the game's graphics have been enhanced into the next level. With more colorful and great moving of forging, make the games have a new game experience that we need to try. We'll play as a cat that holds 2 different weapons. They are sword and also a gun. The guns will deal lower damage to a sword because we can hit the enemy from a certain distance while moving the hero. This action will make our hero untouchable untouchable while in the combat, but the sword will have the opposite functions, which the damage will be higher, but we should play closer in range. I'm not really excited about this story, but I prefer to enjoy the gameplay only. The skill will automatically unlock since we started the game. Try to break any object around to get random goods. Anyway, the developer should make the game become more interesting by adding status information and letting the player strengthen his hero. This game is the best new free-to-play offline game that has been released globally for mobile. Hzone. Hzone. This is the best offline game high graphic for mobile. Through this video, I give you the proof if I play the game fully offline, but you should select the guest account to play the offline game. There is 3 different modes we can pick. They are Team Deathmatch, 1 vs 1, and also Battle Royale. Every enemy is a bot, but trust me, their aim point is pretty accurate. It has a shooter based on TPS gameplay, but of course you can play the game in FPS perspective when you use your scope to lock the target from a distance and make the enemies look way closer. The gameplay is really easy to learn and really affordable for newbie players. There is an auto fire, so we only need to move the hit point into the target and the game will do an auto fire then. But also we can turn on the aim assist to make our shooting become more accurate without doing any effort. The combat mechanism of Hzone is we can use a special skill to summon a barrier and try to hide behind it to defend ourselves from the enemy. But it's not a really good way to protect yourself because the enemy is able to shoot you from the blind spot of behind or beside. The game keeps getting more updates and has been downloaded over 10 million players. That's why this game is worth putting on this list. Fantasy Quest Errand Saga. Fantasy Quest Errand Saga. This is the best anime RPG offline game for mobile. It has an amazing art style of female heroes at all. I highly recommend you to play an anime game that's playable in idle as this game. The skill visual is really attractive with a simple gameplay, so we don't have to worry about watching the screen all day. Because we can tap the auto button on the top down icon, all of the heroes will manage the skill automatically and lock the target randomly. If you want to play the game in idle, make sure you strengthen your hero before entering the combat. As I mentioned before, it has a female hero at all, so we can know their storyline of every single hero's background through the hero's management icon. One by one, the hero will join your team along with the story. Just to inform you, the game is worth playing as a premium game, so you need to prepare a huge amount of cash to get the game. Before you do it, you can decide after watching this video. Fantasy Quest Errand Saga is the best new offline game RPG gacha for Android and iOS. Takasi Ninja Warrior. Takasi Ninja Warrior Remake. This is what I call with a remake. The game perfectly raised the graphic into more realistic looks. I really love how the combat art style become way more fast than the previous version. Even if it seems so dynamic with the great slow motion features it has, the combat mechanism seems so intense and we are really need to take any single battle seriously. Can you imagine the common enemy has a very high damage when dealing with us? The dodge button is one of the most crucial action we can do. In fact, every single action will consume some stamina, so we cannot waste any action. Strategy, timing and precision is really important. In fact, when we face the boss battle, it will create a huge difference between our power and also the boss. His durability, his flexibility and how strong his power will make a huge difference as the result of the last battle. While playing this game, try to avoid as many battles as you can by doing an assassination to the enemy from behind. It will make an instant kill then. Takasi Ninja Warrior Remake is the best graphic offline game RPG for Android and iOS. Astron Academy RPG Astron Academy. On this list, I would put the pixel art style game as well. As the pixel art games, it has a very good graphic and this is the main reason why this game is really worth adding to this video. The gameplay is absolutely impressive with so many features of action we can do, like a combination attack, unleashing the skill and also move to a different spot in a flash by using the portal. The portal is able to be used freely anytime, so we don't have to waste our time to move into a different spot. plot. It has a story-based game in a role-playing game genre. The game has a very interesting storyline and supported with an adorable music background at every moment. Through the music, the story will be delivered perfectly to the player. The combat mechanism is a turn-based game offline RPG. We can freely lock the target and control each of the heroes to unleash the basic attack or skill. The sun glare and shadow looks are my most lovely part to see. Astron Academy is the best new game offline turn-based for mobile. Subway Surfer City. Subway Surfer City. This game was made by the game's developer who made the Subway Surfer. No wonder the games have similarity to everything. It only has a different one thing, which we should collect some energy to recharge the gauge meter. When it reaches the maximum, then we can use the hoverboard to multiply the score. The game's graphics are really good. Even for me, it has the same quality as the Subway Surfer. We'll play the game in a vertical or portrait perspective. Just by using one hand, we can control and navigate the hero to pass through any obstacle we face. Be sure to collect every single coin to beat your previous high score. The longer or further we play, the more difficult the game will become. The main goal is try to not catch up by the guard. As long as we can pass through the obstacle and survive, then the game will keep running endlessly. Subway Surfer City has a very small size. It's about 199 MB. Dragon Ball Fighter. Dragon Ball Fan-Made Fighter or DBZ Fighter. This game is really good as a fan-made game. Of course, all people know what game is this. It's a Dragon Ball game that was made by one person. It's a really good achievement. The way the hero does some combat really represents the DBZ fight game. Anyway, we'll battle with the Com 1 vs 1. The hero will be able to use same combat mechanism, just like unleashing the Kamehameha, filling up the energy, and also doing a combo. Countering the attack from any directions is possible to do. As a Saiyan, we can fight in the air freely, also on the ground. My first impression is the developer successfully delivered a great gaming experience through a simple control. They keep updating the heroes and also the number of the arena battle one by one. There are some options of the characters that are playable, but we need to unlock them first by clearing the challenge mode. This is the only way to get more heroes. This game is the best offline game Android. Sinister Clown. Bonus: Sinister Clown horror anime. As the game name, it has been describing how the gameplay is. So we'll play as the main character of anime. We are able to change the character skin by getting it through spending some in-game gold. The gameplay is quite creepy, where we should survive from the attack of the monster that will chase us along the game. The main goal is we should get all of the balloons, collect them, and check around the corner. Always try to hide on the bushes to avoid the attack. Then your hero will become invisible. Anyway, we can play as a hero or as a monster. But to play as the monster, we should watch the ads to unlock this feature. These all are the best offline games on mobile that I think everyone should play. I'm sure the graphics of the game I have mentioned have a high quality with an interesting gameplay. Remember to subscribe this channel to know the newest game updates. Please like this video and help us to get 200 likes. See you in the next video. Thanks.